Okay, so now we're out here with our Sonostar 2V kit. We decided to do a 12-foot diameter at the base. And then we just cut all the PVC based on the measurements, and we built it based on the instructions. We bolted it together. And it was pretty easy. It's not, it's pretty strong. It's not like totally super solid, but what can one expect? The smaller you make it, the stronger it'll be, and the bigger you make it, the more flimsy and loose it will be. So this is what we got. We're pretty excited about it. Now we're gonna try to cover it with polyethylene plastic lining, 3 millimeter. We bought it from the Home Depot. They sell it in a big roll. And instead of trying to cover the whole thing with one piece and have like wrinkles and crinkles, we're gonna try this. We haven't seen it, but we're gonna try to cover each triangle individually, and we'll just clear tape it. So we're gonna share a little bit of a geometry lesson here on how it is that we're gonna cover this triangle. So this dome has 30 of the same triangle, which are these two. Basically anything around this 5 hub, all 5 of these triangles are the same. And then around the 6 hub, you have these ones that come from the 5 hub are the same. This triangle and this triangle, which there's 10 of on our dome, these two are different. They have a different measurement and a different shape. So we're just gonna take the measurement here from the center of the hub, back to the center of the hub again. I'm getting about 40 inches. And then if I do that, I get another 40, and then here I get 45. So I'm gonna add a 1/2 inch to all of those measurements to make it so that the plastic doesn't just barely touch, but it kind of wraps over a little bit. So we'll see, we wanna make a triangle that's even just a little bit bigger, so it can kind of wrap on nice and be nice and tight and secure and easy to tape on. So again, this is a 40 by 40 by 45. I'm gonna add a 1/2 inch, so 40 and a half, 40 and a half, 45 and a half. And then our other one is gonna be that 45 and a half length by 3. It's an equilateral triangle here. And there's 10 of those, and there's 30 of this one. So the first thing we're gonna do is make a template. We're gonna show you guys how we're gonna make the template, and we're gonna cut one triangle. We're gonna bring it back out, we're gonna fit it. If it fits good, then we'll make all of them. And we'll have to do 2 different templates, one for each of the 2 different shapes of triangle that are on this dome. So let's go inside and take a look. Triangle here, I'll write down the second one. I remember these pretty easily, but I'll write them down. This is an equilateral triangle, but I'll write them all down. Okay, now here's a question. How do you make a perfect triangle? We're gonna cut it into plastic first, but first, before I do that, I'm gonna trace it onto this piece of wood. And then we'll cut the plastic. Then if the plastic is correct after we test it, we'll cut the wood out and use the wood as a template. So we'll go through that whole process step by step, but let's do this one first, 40 and a half by 40 and a half by 45. So here's the cool thing about triangles. If you have 3 side lengths of a triangle and you make a triangle and you make these 3 touch, all triangles with the same 3 side lengths are the exact same triangle. There's no way to make a triangle with like the same 3 side lengths that's not exactly the same triangle. So that's a little geometry. It's not important that you understand what that means, but I'll show you how to do it. So we're gonna get here, I'm gonna go 40 and a half. Here, I hammered a nail in to the wood, a nail. I'm gonna go 40 and a half. Now I'm gonna come to the end of this, and I'm gonna strike a point here, and then I'm gonna draw a line. Yo, we're filming, Belly. Give us a second. Okay, strike a line here, look. From that point. So that's a 40 and a half inch long line. That's gonna be the beginning of making our triangle. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie a string to this nail. Okay. I just got a piece of like hay bale twine here, I think. Or I got this from Home Depot. They have it where you can tie stuff to your truck if you don't have anything better. I think that's where I got this from. Okay. Just simple, tie this, make sure it's tight, it doesn't move. Okay, now I'm gonna measure my next side length, which is another 40.5. And I'll make another point, 40.5 here, right there. And this is also, this ½ inch is gonna help us because I have a ½ inch of tolerance. Now I'm gonna draw an arc with this string. Okay. Now, I'm gonna sharpen my pencil again because I just broke it. I'm gonna move my nail to the other corner here. Now, can anybody guess what I'm gonna do next? I'm gonna get my next side length, which is a different length, and I'm gonna draw this arc with my new side length. And where these 2 points meet, that's gonna be, anything on this line is exactly 40.5 from that corner, and anything on this next arc is gonna be exactly 45.5 from that corner. Where they meet is gonna be the tip of my triangle. So let's draw that, but here, and okay, so now from my new nail, it's 45.5, look at this. Okay, now come here. So right there is going to be the tip of my triangle. And that should be exactly 45.5 from this corner, which it is, and 40.5 from this corner, which it is. And that's how you make a triangle, getting 3 side lengths. Now I'm going to get a straight edge. I have a 60-inch level. You can use a piece of wood. You know, if you use a piece of wood, make sure it's actually straight. These nice long levels are great. 40. The last one here. Here. There. There. Okay, now we got our first triangle. We're gonna come in now, put a piece of plastic over top of this and cut it. And then we're gonna take it out, check it out, come back. If it's right, we're gonna cut these lines, use this as a template, and we're gonna make 29 more of them. So let's get the plastic and we'll come right back. Okay, so we got our plastic. Fortunately, it is see-through, which makes it super easy. I'm gonna try to position it on here that I don't get a huge amount of waste, but no matter what, I'll be wasting some. It's okay. Oh, look, this one already has a hole in it, look. So I'm gonna not use that. Put that hole outside of my triangle. Because I don't want a hole, although we could cover it with a piece of tape if we get a hole in it in the future. Put this one down. that. We're right on our line. Now this is where we got to be careful too. Once I make this cut, we got to keep all this stuff lined up with our template. Cut that. Okay. Cut this one. And again, I'm putting this on the line. I'm using a straight edge. I want this line to stay true still, pretty close, before I make this cut. And then, yeah, I'm hoping that we're not going to shift that piece. Or, you know, not hoping, but paying attention. And then, looks like I already shifted it just a little bit, so we want to get it back. Pretty close. This is also where that 1/2 inch comes in real nice. Because if I'm a little off, we're still going to be within a nice tolerance. And it's going to work out just fine. I'm hoping or guessing. And here we go, last cut. Okay. Should have a triangle. All right, let's check and see if this thing fits. No, this is not an equal right here. Can you hold this corner for me? Okay. I'll hold this one. And look at that. Looks like a pretty good fit to me. What do you think? What? Where are you going? Zoom out. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to saw this out. Whenever we're running power tools, we're always wearing hearing protection. You never run a power tool without hearing protection, ever, ever. I'm going to wear glasses. Ellie, you don't need glasses because you're not going to have your face in the saw. But you're going to be close enough that we want to protect them little ears too. I'll give it back to you 1 second. Ready? Cut this. All right, we're all set up here. I got another piece of wood underneath so I don't scrape the knife on the concrete. And we got this triangle here, which we already confirmed is the right size because we already cut one and we checked it on the dome. Right there. Camera's so good. Now we're just gonna start. I'll put it on a time lapse, and 30 cuts later, 29 more, we'll have our first set of triangles.